Wow. Okay. Okay, Lawlers, welcome to the beginner's guide to playing Volibear. I did recently post a Volibear for Dummies kind of gameplay commentary that kind of basically talks about playing this guy in a game without having to know too many crazy specifics or be a micro god. So I'm going to start trying to pair up the guides with those types of commentary videos so you guys can put the two together and get a kind of a full experience, so you can watch the beginner guide, get a good idea, try out the champ a bit, and then see the gameplay as well and apply that to your gameplay. So, first ability you're usually going to pick up with the Volibear is Sky Splitter. What that's going to do is just help you kind of pick up some of these minions in the lane to start with and give yourself a shield maybe so you can start to go for those level 1 trades. Okay, you're going to start to notice here the lightning that has started to strike from my auto attacks. That is the Volibear passive, the very, very OP passive against a lot of enemy laners who are melee. Is you're going to build up 5 stacks with your auto attacks or abilities, and lightning is going to start to fly out of your claws on your basic attacks and deal damage to a bunch of the enemies that are in that area. Okay, so you can see here I'm basically just winning trades against this guy by right-clicking and using my Sky Splitter to kind of put down some damage as well and pick up a shield. Okay, now we're very low health. I just wanted to really extend the trade of that auto attack there and show you guys the power of it. We could have weaved in some ease there, which we'll talk about in a second, but at a very basic understanding, know this about Volibear: the dude is powerful level 1 against a lot of matchups. Play him aggressively. Make sure you're using your passive Relentless Storm plus your E to do those types of trades. You essentially have 2 abilities on the enemy champion that's to start with, right? So do those trades. Okay, next you want to pick up your W. This is kind of an auto attack reset. It deals damage to a target and heals you for a little bit. The cool thing is with that is if you hit the W a second time on the same target you used it the first time on, you're going to deal even more damage, heal more. Okay, so let's get our passive stacked up here. Let's put down an E on this guy to kind of shield ourselves and deal some damage to him and just beat him down with auto attacks and W's. Okay, so you can see there that X on him, that claw mark. If we hit the W a second time on him, we're going to deal even more damage and heal ourselves. So you can start to see with Volibear's kit so far, with the E shield and the slow that it gives, with the W that it heals, deals damage, and our passive that, you know, we want to be in fights for at least 5 autos or 5 spells. Volibear likes long extended trades, so we want to make sure we play him that way. Okay, once you get in, you want to keep going. All right, don't quit on the fight, keep going. Okay, now let's talk about our Q here. Thundering Smash. Volibear gains a little bit of movement speed. It's doubled towards enemy champions for 4 seconds, and his next attack using that Q is going to deal a little bit more damage and stun the target. Okay, the way you want to pair this up is with your E, that skill shot, the Sky Splitter, which summons that lightning bolt that we use at level 1, deals some damage, shields you if you're in it, and slows the enemy champion again. Okay, so let's try that combo here. You're going to use your Q to run into the champ. As they're getting stunned with your Q, you want to throw your E down to kind of chain that stun up with more CC and then just auto attack and land W's. Okay, so here we go. We're going to run into this guy, throw the E down while we were coming into it, stun him. Alright, you can see our passive started to proc there. We got lightning coming out of our hands because we used a few abilities in a row. He's assigned to stay in a long engage, so we can just W him again. Okay, he got away from that one. That's all good, but that's how you play Volibear. Alright, in a nutshell. Pretty easy, right? 3 levels, 3 abilities. You're going to win pretty much at level 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time. Very beginner-friendly champion. Okay, he's got sustain in his kit. He's got very easy targeted stuns. He's got auto attack resets so you can get the last hits, and he's got a passive that lets you push and deal damage and extend the trades. Okay, and honestly, if you're a beginner, you're probably not joining the game just to kite and kind of play a very specific gameplay where you kind of dump in and out of battles and dodge things. You just want to get in and fight. So Volibear is very good for that, right? So 5 attacks you can see here, and now lightning's going to start coming from our claws and help us deal a little bit more damage to everything that we're going to be fighting. Okay, now this guy's probably going to come into us. I'll pop a potion, stun him, throw the E out, right? So, and then our W's. And we're just going to keep fighting with this guy, okay? When our W's off cooldown, we're going to try and W him again if he lets us, and deals more damage and heals us, right? So, Q, E, auto W is going to get it done. All right, that's your combo pretty much every time with this guy. You want to stun with the Q. You want to give yourself a shield and keep that CC going with the E. Right? They can't dodge the E if they're stunned, so make sure you land that Q first. Q, E, and then auto attack and just start mauling them with your W. Okay? Frenzied Maul. All right? It's a name that for a reason. You want to just keep mauling that person down. Okay, Volibear's R, Stormbringer. He's going to transform and leap. He gains a lot of health, a lot of size, and some increased attack range. Okay, the big key of this ult is that it disables enemy turrets for a few seconds when you use it. Okay, so you want to make sure if you're looking for that all in, the champion is low enough to dive. You want to use it to dive. So let's get this guy kind of to a point where we want to dive him. We're going to Q him, E him, auto attack, W, and just keep the trade going. Okay, we're going to W him again here in a second, gain some more life, and if we need to, dive into this guy and kill him with our R. It's honestly so satisfying to press R with Volibear. It's really, really fun. And he gets so massive in size, it's actually comical. He becomes this lightning bear. It's really, really cool. So you can see it lasts for a few seconds and it goes away. If we use that on the turret area, like let's say that Gallia was running back to here and we want to chase him with the turret, essentially do what's called a turret dive, you can use the R very effectively with Volibear to disable that turret so you can keep that trade going without taking turret damage, okay? He's one of the best turret divers in the game, one of the best team fight turret divers in the game. So again, it's playing into that kit, that aspect of extended trades. Even if the enemy champ gets to their turret and says, I don't want to fight anymore, Volley, leave me alone, please, you can still keep going. Just R, jump in, follow them up, close the gap, disable the turret, and just keep frenzying, mauling them, and stunning them. Okay, first item you're going to pick up with Volibear in most of your games is going to be the Frostfire Gauntlet. You can choose between that and Sunfire depending on your matchup, but for simplicity's sake here, I'm going to build into the Frostfire. So we're going to pick up the Bomby first, we're going to pick up the Chain Vest, and we're going to head back to lane. Okay, I'm running TP, and I like to run TP in most of kind of these beefier top laners because I want to have side lane pressure, and I'd like to be able to kind of TP back to lane if I can, and pick up farm or do whatever you need to do. But you can definitely run Ignite and have a little bit more kill pressure if you find in most of your games you're really brawling out with champs, and that Ignite's going to give you a little bit extra kind of kill threat. So now what we're going to do is go back to our basic combo, which is the Q to run up to them and stun them, E to slow them and give us a shield and keep that trade going even longer, and then just auto attack and mauling them. So if he steps up to within our range here, we're going to run at him with Q, stun him, E, auto, W, and just keep the trade going as long as you can. This guy wants to fight with us. We are more than down to fight, okay? Just keep going. He's going to run away. That's okay. If we had our R, that's a very easy turret dive. We don't. So we're just going to take some plates now and get the gold like that. Okay, so max your W out first. Early levels, it's going to have a little bit of a longer cooldown. You're going to be like, how the heck am I ever supposed to land 2 Ws in one trade? Like, it's not possible. The cooldown's too long. Once you get this baby maxed out, it's got like a 5-second cooldown right now before we really even have any cooldown reduction items built. So once we get those built, it's going to feel like, okay, I can land this a few times in fights and really get that healing and damage going, okay? So let's just beat down this turret if we can, right? Get those plates if you can. Now we're in a position, if this guy comes back, we have our R, we can dive him. The next ability you want to generally max out, I like to max out the Q next. It's just going to give me a little bit more damage off of it, a little bit more move speed, and a slightly shorter cooldown. And because it is our engage tool, I want to make sure I have it up more often, okay? The E is easier to miss than your Q, so you want to try and put those points in your Q. Okay, now, he's here. We can definitely dive this guy if we need to, so I'm going to press R on the turret. You can see here, it is not attacking me anymore. Now it's going to try and start, but it got frozen there from my R, so it disables it, makes turret diving very easy if they're in kill range, okay? So, guys, There's really nothing else to explain with Volibear. Like I said, I do have kind of the Volibear for Dummies gameplay posted on the channel as well that you can check out and get an idea of maybe how to use some of these tactics that we've talked about in this video and apply them to a full-length game or maybe a slightly different matchup. Okay, so check that out. If you like this video, please do leave a like or a comment and let me know. I am, like I said, going to start to pair up some of these guides with the gameplay, so if you want to check those out, subscribe to the channel as well, and don't miss those upcoming videos. But for now, I will leave you guys to practice your Volibear, and enjoy. Catch you in the next one.
The first river was a river of blood. That is my intelligent.